Earlier today, we were in Danao and we got a beautiful tulingan. 2 pieces of a kilo of each, and today I'm going to show you something to take to a higher palate. So you've seen how the locals do it, grilled and just over charcoal. Today I'm going to show you, tulingan is actually from the mackerel and tuna family. So I'm going to show you a different approach of cooking, and I'm going to use the local materials, which is kangkong, which is saba banana, and some tomatoes. So let's call it a Kate's version of a grilled tulingan. And I also found one of us a female, so which is also nice. So it's the local fish caviar, which you see right here, and it's quite interesting because it's quite fresh, and I realize it's going to add flavor to the dish. Now what we're going to do with the tulingan, which is the mackerel and tuna, we don't need the head so much, so you're just going to chop it like a rumbo on trunk. So of course you'll be needing a very sharp knife. And you see, the tulingan is actually red. So red means it's a dark, fleshy fish. So you're going to chop it like that, and you're going to take out the fins. And we just don't need this anymore, so we're just going to put it in our bin. And you can chop it at the trunk, an inch or an inch thick. So you will be bound with a circular rumbo like this. It's going to have some bones, so you're just going to take out some of the bones so that you won't have problems with it when you cook it. Take out the bones, because you don't want to be biting into that. So you need to be clear that to be free of any bones. So if you peel, just peel your way through the fish, and you just set it aside. The fish that I got about 4 to 5 different chunks. So many ways you can fillet it, but this time I think with presentation, we'd like to have it cooked round. So I got 4 different portions, and it really just depends. If you find a bigger fish, so much the better. You can choose to do this, or you can choose to fillet it. So we're actually cutting it right through in circular, because we want to have presentation. These are the rumbos, or what they call the trunk cut of the fish. So this is actually equivalent to 1 fish, and with the lemongrass, I actually soaked it in boiling water so it softens. And what we're gonna do, so that when we cook the fish, it holds its shape, we're gonna guide it with the lemongrass. So if you'll note, you just need to keep the circle and just tie the lemongrass until it seals itself. So a little bit long, a little bit short, doesn't matter, for as long as it holds itself, because lemongrass, when it cooks, is not edible necessarily, but it creates flavor, which is why I've used the components of lemongrass inside. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trunks of the fish, and I'm going to use that when I grill. So we just need to dollop some olive oil, and I'm going to go through my spice rack, and I actually use Mediterranean salt. But then again, those that do not have gourmet salt, you can find it any coarse sea salt, rock salt, iodized salt. Seasoning marination will do. So I'm just going to put some there on each rumbo, torgo, and I'm going to turn it around, because when you season something, you need to make sure that you season both sides. Crushed garlic that I'm going to make a mash. So you just want to take some olive oil until it becomes a paste of sorts. It's really such an easier life when you get, and what it does, it pounds in all the flavor, We have here the lemongrass, the tanglad stalk, that we're just gonna use the root, and we put it inside. So we literally have to pound it in. So we pound it in. If you take a look, it's almost looking like a paste, a chunky paste. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more of tanglad, the lemongrass. Towards the end is where all the flavor is concentrated. So I just really want a concentration of flavor. Take a look at this. It's almost to a fine paste. And I just want to let it sit. And you grab some lemon and you just squeeze the lemon in. Because remember, marination is about herbs and spices and a citric acid to coat it, to coat a fish, a chicken, whatever it is. So it's very pasty. So it's quite interesting. So what we're going to do is just put it and smother it on the top of our fish. So if you look at that, it's just coating it. And what this does, it's an intense concentration of flavors of the lemongrass and the garlic. And we put it on top of the fish. So of course you seal it both sides. See, we turn that around, and so that's how it's supposed to look. And we take it to its tail and turn it around. So it's got the flavors crushing and infusing through it. Take the next lot, let's put it on top of our tuning in.